It's Turkey. 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 It's Turkey.
Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Pastatime with the Scaryish Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're back with what will probably be our final episode of Pastatime.
Yeah, we're thinking so.
Yeah, we're changing things up. We're not going to do Pastatime anymore. We're thinking of some other things that we could do in the meantime, since we are running low on storytime stories. So I'll just put this out there. If you folks have any stories that you want to share with us, not Pastatime stories, but actual,
spooky.
Homegrown horror experiences, close encounters with some true crime things or some paranormal things or spiritual things that have happened to you, send it to our email, storytime@scaryish.com, or any of our social media, and share it with us so that we can share it with the rest of the spooky fam, because we are running low. Adam just checked earlier today, and we only have a few left for story time.
I think we have enough to do story time next week, which is the plan. And then after that, I'm not sure. So, like Robin mentioned, we've talked about different things that we could do for the show that comes out on Friday that we do live stream on Wednesday. I don't think we're ready to make any announcements, but we do have some ideas that are kind of exciting. What I will say is if we get into one of the new ideas and we wind up really liking it, we'll probably stick with that going forward. But if we continue to get stories, if we get homegrown horror sent to us, we will definitely drop storytime episodes still. So maybe just on a different frequency or a different cadence, maybe once a month or something along those lines, where we have more stories to give. But we'll see. We're going to play around with what we do with this second non-topic episode for each week, because we still want to make sure we have content that's coming out on Fridays and that we're streaming on Wednesdays. But we'll figure it out. We have some fun ideas, and I'm actually really excited to play around with some of the stuff, because this isn't really like season 2 of Scaryish or anything, but it's the first break we've taken, or we've taken 3, the takening. I get confused. Liam Neeson screwed everything up for me. But yeah, it's something where we got time to think about what we wanted to see the show do going forward, basically, and based off of the fact that we just don't have a lot of stories to go through. We're going to be forced to change it up, which is probably a good thing in the long run. So.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing the same thing for almost 5 years, so it's changing it up. We're
doing
something different.
The fact we've had so many consistent episodes of Storytime, we've never missed a Storytime simply because we've always had stories. We did create Pastatime because we were getting low on stories for Storytime, but it was still of the cadence where we could do it every 2 weeks, and it was pretty still a month to 2 month backlog.
Right.
So nowadays, though, it's we'll get 2 or 3 stories in one day and then nothing for a few weeks. So we get a lot of things that have been sent to us from people who have already sent in, because the spooky friends out there are amazing, and they've sent us the stories that they've promised to send. I have more. I'll send them at some point. I think some point has come and gone at this point. So we'll probably look into also doing things where you folks can share the podcast with your friends or family, whether it's through your social medias or whatever. And we used to do giveaways a lot, in fact, to encourage the podcast growth. We haven't done one of those in a few years, in fact. So we'll figure out some rewards and some stuff that we can send out, and probably initiate another one of those contests, which would be super fun to do. So, but like Robin said, this is going to be the final Pastatime that we're going to do. So I guess we should just jump into it and get started. I think Robin's going first with this one that's up on the screen. So take it away.
All right. So my first story is going to be a little long. It's titled, I Think My Family is Cursed by Bram, the toy maker. It's like Bram Stoker.
I think Bram because of that stupid movie.
But I think Bram has an H in it, right? B-R-A-H-M?
Probably, yeah.
Bram?
Let's go with Bram. Sure.
Okay, Bram. We're going to say Bram. All right, so this is written by Jubmir Milik and Lily Connor. So thank you for writing this. All right, so it begins. The story I'm about to tell you is crazy. All right, well, it's crazy already. You told us. I had the weirdest, creepiest experience last weekend, and I think people like you want to hear. The curse...
You don't know me.
The curse must have happened over 300 years ago, but for us, it started when my dad and I found a great-great-great-great-grandfather's diary.
Sounds pretty great.
Well, kind of. Anyway, there are a few things I should explain first. My family are formerly from the Balkans and moved to America a few generations ago. Our family immigrated with everyone who traveled from their village, maybe 30 people, to live in America in a place called Grimville, where...
I will mark it.
My sister is like panicking about this new foundations class she's taking. Okay, so
she'll be fine.
It's turkey.
Shout out to Liz. She's a hard worker and she's smart. She'll be okay.
We'll find out. Maybe like 30 people went to live in America in a place called Grimville, where they continued to live together for years until one day the great-great-great-great-grandfather, Edward, moved states with his family, and we have never known why until upon finding his diary. What the?
It's turkey.
What the? Is this normal?
I don't know.
What?
Doesn't look normal to me.
Does not look normal. Hold on.
Marking it. There's
Sorry,
like nothing after that. Read more? Maybe?
Oh. Yes, the button that says read more. I'm getting ahead of myself. First, you should know that my family are highly superstitious people. My grandmother and grandfather would always tell the stories of horrors in the woods, visits from gypsies, and deathly omens. There was always a reason for something strange or unfortunate to happen, and that reason was always supernatural. I believed the stories as a kid, but these days I can see where coincidence and paranoia collide. Even so, two stories stuck with me 40 years later. There was a rule at my grandparents' house: never leave the window open at night. My parents didn't care for this rule, as it wasn't something we did in our house, but they always respected it. One weekend, I stayed at my grandparents' one weekend.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, that's their grandparents' name. One weekend, I stayed at my grandparents' place while my parents were out of town. I was about 6 years old. It'd been a hot day and the house was stuffy, so I opened my window in the afternoon to let the cool breeze inside. I started playing with my toys and completely forgot about the window. A few hours later, my grandfather came in to get me for dinner, saw the window, and exploded. Like, literally, just blood everywhere.
That's gross. This is a scary story.
He was furious. I've never seen him so mad. He slammed it in a flurry, saying it was quote-unquote dangerous. Then he sat me on the bed and told me of the toy maker. Bram is a man who makes toys for little boys and girls, like you, he said to me. He places the toy on your windowsill. It may seem like a lovely gift, but it's when you pick it up that he catches you with his claw, end quote. So then it continues to go on. He took me by the chin and made me look him in the eye. I could feel his hands shaking. All that is left in your stead is a doll of your likeness, and you are never seen again. And it's said on windy nights when the clouds cover the moon, you can hear the lost children wail. He lets go of my chin. Never leave your window open again. He stood up, walked to the door before turning back. Remember, Bram the toy maker is not your friend. And then, to make his point, he left me to bed without dinner. What a dick.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep a wink. What kid could? I stopped playing with my toys for a while after that, and I never left the window open at night.
I would just assume that those toys are all people who had been taken by the toy maker.
That makes sense. Not at my grandparents' and not at my own house either. Much later, in my teenage years, when I would tell this story to my friends, no one had heard this old wives' tale, not even my friends from the Balkans. The other story that sticks with me happened a few years later when I was 9 years old. My grandfather had just passed away. At his funeral, I remember my uncles carrying the coffin out of my grandparents' house to take to be buried. When just before crossing the threshold of the front door, they stopped, talked amongst themselves, then backed up and turned around 180 degrees. My grandma was standing next to me, and I looked up at her. I remember her face, the usual warmth in every wrinkle, but not today. She was solemnly nodding as the men turned around. Grandma, what are they doing? They're making sure his legs come out of the door first. Why? She looked down at me, surprised I didn't understand. I still remember the unnerving intensity in her eyes. To make sure he doesn't come back, of course, or he'll take us with him. What the fuck?
There's a lot of shit happening in this story.
And she walked away, leaving me there alone again. I couldn't sleep for weeks, worried my grandfather would come to visit me. My parents would read me scary stories to tell in the dark occasionally, And boy, were they regretting that now. Every night I expected to hear heavy thuds on the stairs to my room, imagining his legs stiff with rigor mortis. To see his face as he rounded the doorway, sunken cheeks, white eyes a home for flies, blue skin puffy or worse, rotting away, mouth frozen open in eternal despair. Over time, I forgot, and bedtime became less scary. Nowadays, I chalk these superstitions and scary tales up to getting your kids to behave. I'm sure there's some psych study on it, but then we found that diary. My dad asked me recently to help him clear out my grandparents' place. My grandma died 3 years ago, bless her, and my parents finally decided to turn their place into an Airbnb. So last week, my dad and I had spent days sorting through their furniture, figuring out what was to sell or keep, listing what repairs would need to be done. You get it. We were almost done in the attic when I noticed the
freaky sex doll my grandparents kept.
When I noticed the creaky floorboards. It was in a spot that had been completely covered in boxes before. I got up to...
Hang on, let me twist and shout.
I didn't hear a shout.
Where's the...
Oh. I got up close to see if the floorboard would come loose, and lo and behold, it did. I immediately began thinking about adventure movies and imagined finding treasure, expensive antiques, something worth a fortune. I pulled up the floorboard, but all that was underneath was a small wooden chest. Locked. The chest looked old, worn at the edges, cracks along the panels. Exciting, but not quite what I was hoping for. What were you hoping for finding under the floorboard?
The heart of someone he had murdered, apparently.
My dad had never seen it before either and didn't remember his parents with it. So, our curiosity tells us to open the box. If it's a Dybbuk box, though, bad idea.
It's going to have Gwyneth Paltrow's severed head in it. We all know that.
There's no way it's that big. I mean, it was under a floorboard, right? Can you fit a head under a floorboard?
I think she's pretty famous for having a tiny head.
Is it? Is she?
Yeah.
Is she?
Her head's the size, make a fist. That's how big her head is.
Shut up. I go to pick it up, and it is ice cold to the touch. The kind of cold that almost feels like it's burning, as it had just come out of a freezer. I drop it in surprise, and the damn thing gives me a splinter before landing on the floor and breaking open.
Oh, shit.
A splinter that I still have, by the way, that won't heal. Anyway, inside the chest, we found the diary. Sure, we were a bit underwhelmed, but we knew it would interest Mom, so we took it with us. Okay. That night over dinner, we pulled it out and read it. Now, let me tell you, we did not finish our food. Not after what we read. As I said, the diary was written by my great-great-great-great-grandfather Edward in the late 18th century, from what we can tell. It recounts his involvement in the murder of Bram, a toy maker, and his wife, Rose. Eerie, right? The diary is long and in the old native language, so I'm just going to summarize what he wrote about. It took my dad, Mom, and I a few hours and a bit of checking the dictionary to fully understand. So when Edward, his family, and the 30 or so people from our small town in the Balkans were boarding the ship to America, they met Bram and Rose, who happened to be moving to the same village, Grimville. They had recently inherited a manor there, so they joined Edward's party. Though friendly, Edward notes that no one knew anything about them except that Bram was an intelligent and talented woodcarver. Oh, that's why the wooden box with the splinter. Grimville.
If he's a good woodcarver, why the fuck was there a splinter?
Oh, that's very true.
Seems deliberate. It's going to come back in the end.
Grimville was a small village located on the outskirts of a forest, quiet and desolate. It had been abandoned by its former tenants and was practically empty. It was only a few houses clustered together, and at the center they turned one house into a tavern, but it was all they needed. Edward doesn't say why they went to that particular village, only that they had been told there was a distance from other towns. No, that was right. I read it right. And privacy, which the villagers valued greatly. When the party landed, Rose and Bram disappeared to their new home in the woods, immediately taking to the discretion the large, secluded manor provided. Bram took to set up a toy shop in their house, while Rose kept to their bedroom. She was pregnant at the time. He talks of how the women of the village found it rude that she didn't spend time with them, and so gossip followed. There was a nasty rumor that Rose was having an affair under Bram's nose, as while he worked downstairs at night, she was sometimes seen staring out the window with a dark figure looming over her shoulder, whispering in her ear. It's a fucking demon! It's a demon. She's talking to a demon. Or a vampire, Bram Stoker.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why they picked the name.
One day, some men were hunting in the woods when they saw Rose in her nightgown, surrounded by candles, symbols drawn in the dirt at her feet, chanting. This was during the witch hunting hysteria, so of course the men go back to the village and tell everyone. Edward says he was in the tavern at the time, and at the first mention of witchcraft, the men had everyone's attention. The elders cited the dangers of an independent woman's mischievous nature. Fresh rumors went flying. Parents were scared for their children, and within minutes the village had formed a mob, so fueled by liquid courage and fear, they gathered their wits and weapons and went to Bram's manor. Bram was working when the villagers burst through the door, a toy doll splayed out on the table waiting for him to attach the limbs and make it whole. The mob knocked his work aside and rounded on Bram. He tried to calm them as Rose came from upstairs to see what was wrong, with her hands on her pregnant belly. Oof, this is bad. They accused her of witchcraft, which, of course, they both denied. But it didn't matter what they said. It was too late for them. The villagers had made up their minds. They dragged the couple outside and threatened Rose that if she did not admit guilt, they would cut Bram to pieces. Protecting her baby, she refused, and they kept their word. Edward says the hilt of a blade was pushed into his hand, and stepping forward, he welcomed it. He described how they had started with Bram's arms and blah, 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 all this gross stuff. Oh man, they just chop him up. Rose begged them to stop, claiming their innocence, but he says that after a while they stopped hearing her, as if she wasn't there. They could not hear the screams, only the tearing of flesh. Ooh. He wrote, quote, "A hunter does not see the animal once it is caught, only the meal in front of him," end quote. That's fucked up. During his torture, one of the elders, Edward, calls her an old gypsy woman, entered Bram's house to look for something.
You should reread that, I think.
During this torture, one of the elders, Edward, calls her an old gypsy woman, entered Bram's house to look for something. So, one of the elders, he calls her an old gypsy woman.
She entered Bram's house.
Cool. Eventually, once Bram had lost much of his body, just an empty sack on the ground, they turned to Rose, and their hunger for violence not yet satiated. Rose's silence said it all. She knew what was to come, and she did nothing to sway their captors. Edward said to look in her eyes and was to see the devil himself. She did not speak as they... wait. I feel like Edward looked her in the eyes and saw the devil
He's saying,
himself.
like, looking her in the eyes was to see the devil himself.
Yeah, it was written very strangely. She did not speak as they tied her to a stake. Oh, they're going to burn her. And when they lit the fire, her voice could be heard by all. Edward described her voice as tangling with unearthly sounds, demonic voices outside of the range of human vocal cords, screeching and wailing. And yet they murdered her.
Yeah, I was going to say that happens when you
Just
get set on
before
fire.
her last breath, she swore a curse on them for their heinous judgment, calling upon Lilith to avenge their deaths. Oh, so she did.
I was going to say, if she's
Maybe
calling on Lilith, it's like she
mean,
really wants them to feel the wrath.
As Rose's charred body crumpled on the stake, the old gypsy woman came out of the house holding some papers. She had found notes in the bedroom written by Rose, incantations to drive out a foul demon. The demon had told her its name was Lilith, an evil demonic night monster, horrible threat to women in childbirth and children. So, because they killed her, she was like, nah, you know what?
Instead of fighting this thing off because she had a kid,
yeah.
She's just like, hey, you know that thing that's out there that was coming for me? Fuck these guys up.
The reason for their escape from the old continent was a ritual gone wrong with Rose. Oh, shit. She accidentally summoned a demon during the seance who got attached to her. After that, their house became haunted. That is why they decided to go so far away. Afterward, the villagers dared not approach either body. The gypsy implored everyone to bury them, saying that if they were not given a proper burial, the curse would take root. That in Bram's final moments, he had crawled his way to the manor, and now he had to be removed, legs first, lest his spirit return. Oh, that makes sense. The bodies must be placed in deep graves. Otherwise, the horror would live on. But the people shut themselves inside, barring windows and locking doors. The village was silent as their conscience had been... Wait. Consciences? Oh, okay. The village was silent as their consciences had been earlier. Edward, in his home, cannot face himself. His mind reeled from the bloodlust.
From the Bud Light that night.
His mind reeled from the bloodlust of the village, the atrocities he had committed. As the night darkened, he could not escape the blood on his hands, and try as he might, they would not get clean. Guilt overtook him, so he decided to take on the responsibility of burying the dead. Exiting his home, only the creatures of the night saw him walk to the manor. Foxes, owls, rats. It seemed all had come to bear witness to his guilt. Quietly, he dug a grave next to Bram and Rose's manor, as deep as he could go. I mean, hopefully it was at least 6 foot deep. 6 feet deep?
I mean, 6 foot is normal, so I would imagine I would go 10, maybe 12.
He picked up what little remained of Rose, and to his horror felt some stick to his hands. Ignoring the nausea building in his stomach, he shook as he placed her. He then turned to find where Bram's body lay. As he walked, he noticed the squelch of mud beneath his boots. The mud was made not from water, but from blood mixing with the dirt. It sucked at his shoes, releasing eerie gurgles with each step. Ew, gross. Turning his fracturing mind away, his eyes searched. Half an arm here, a foot there, a hand, but no Bram. Instead, a trail of blood smeared across the ground that led towards the manor. Edward followed the trail, and sure enough, just as the gypsy had said, Bram's torso was located inside the manor. I can't imagine how. He would have been in so much pain to use his arms and legs. I can't even think about it. Edward's entry is hasty here. Clearly, he was terrified just writing this down. So while they're reading this, like, the handwriting's getting, like, hectic, trying to tell what he saw.
Right.
When Edward entered the manor, the air went still. No sound could be heard within, even in the dark. Edward could see the toys Bram had been working on, laid out waiting to be put together. Dolls, bears, animals with happy faces, but their smiles obscured in the dark. Their eyes were dull and staring at the murderer who had entered their home. Then, the manor released a long, groaning creak, a sound of mourning for its owners, which frightened Edward half to death. Bram is obviously dead at this point, that much is certain, but from the loss of blood from his wounds, pressure mounted on Edward, his fear increasing with every second he spent in that manor. In a panic, he slid his arms under Bram's armpits and walked backwards out the door, pulling Bram out, head first. He dropped the body in the grave next to his wife, leaving himself splattered with blood again. Barely able to lift the shovel, he filled the hole nonetheless. Then he left, his guilt easing with each step home. But this night had become one he would carry with him every day. He notes it's much later, he realized, that the gypsy woman had spoken the truth. There's a gap in the dates after this, about a year. Edward explains for months he had stared out the window looking at the forest. He was waiting for a fiery hand to reach inside, burning flesh catching light to his cabin, followed by a howling so loud and visceral it would shake the foundations of his house, or to hear a slow drag of a body on dirt as it pulled itself somehow toward his home. So he's just sitting there waiting for something to happen because of what they did. Exactly 1 year later, a child goes missing. His parents said they had put him to bed, and when they went to his room in the morning, his window was open. A red toy sat on the windowsill, and a toy doll, in their children's clothes, sat in the child's bed. So it's like human size. The red toy was a deep red, the color of old blood. The entire village searched for the boy in the fields, the forest, in every nook and cranny. They searched 4 weeks when another child went missing. Another blood-red toy and doll were left in their place. Though the village searched and searched, they would never find the children who disappeared. Edward thought of Bram's workshop, the toys left behind, and how he had pulled Bram from his home head first, not legs first. He didn't have legs to pull, if I'm not mistaken. 5 children had disappeared in a few months. It was time for Edward to abandon this cursed village with his family for good. It's funny, Edward was assured. Bram returned as an undead night figure, and it was his fault for not carrying him as the gypsies said. But I wonder, it sounded like what Rose did was a curse, wanting revenge on the people that wronged her. What if Lilith possessed Bram's corpse and brought him to life? It could be the demon coming for the kids. I'm not sure what I believe now, to be honest. I know it sounds crazy to think this story is real, but in that diary, the words Edward wrote, you can see it was real to him. And to think the story had been passed down for generations makes me think that Bram followed them, followed the villagers who Rose had cursed, maybe. Luckily, we don't live in the same state anymore, but it does have me curious. I wonder if the house is still there, what it would look like. I've decided to do a road trip to Grimville this weekend, learn a little bit more about Edward and the village, and who knows, maybe see if this Bram is real or just a scary bedtime story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit odd. I like the content of the story. I think it's a little bit odd how it goes from like, these are the things that happen, then like it's someone reading a diary to you, so it adds like that extra filter to it.
Yeah.
In a weird way, and then also the names are kind of cheesy, like Grimville.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, why would you go back if you know that this is a thing, right? Why would you decide like, oh, I want to go back and learn a little bit more of this history? It just seems a little bad decision, maybe.
Yeah, it's and it's one, I don't know. I thought more was going to happen in the story, especially given how long it was. Except it's like the story of how someone discovered a story, and then that story within it. Like, just make the story within it the story.
Yeah.
Unless this is going to be like a larger part of something else, but like there's no other follow up to it.
It could have the whatever happened in the diary could have been its own story.
Yeah.
It didn't need all the extra stuff leading to finding the diary.
Yeah, I agree. But it was good.
Yeah. It was, interesting.
All right, good one to start the episode.
It was very long.
It was long. Can I see the remote?
Heck
or the
I mean, it's kind of like a
computer remote controller. Thank you. All right, I just want to get this thing off my face.
Off your face.
Cool.
Oh.
I just want to get off my face. All right, so let's go ahead and read some shout-outs first before we go over into the stream chat.
Oh, there's drinks.
So there are lots of drinks.
Okay.
I'm going to do a shout-out to Mint the Proto, who followed us 17 days ago.
Thank you so much.
Shout-out to Miss Schultz70, who followed us 4 days ago. Shout-out to Glitch Grim for resubscribing with Prime for the 34th month. It said, woo, welcome back. Captain Fake Guy. Shout-out to Captain Fake Guy, who resubscribed for the 31st month and said, woo. Shout-out to Liz Tree, who resubscribed for the 13th month and said, woo, 13 months.
Sorry, all the woos make me laugh.
Shout out to Madscan, who resubscribed for the 6th month and said yes. Shout out to 911 Girl, who resubscribed for the 23rd month and said, hi everyone, I've missed you all.
We miss you.
Shout out to Madscan for donating 200 bits. Shout out to Malum, that's me, for resubscribing for the 27th month.
You didn't say woo?
No, I didn't put a message in. I never do. Shout out to 911 Girl, who cheered 200 bits. Thank you so much. Shout out to Laura Ann, who resubscribed with Prime for the 32nd month and said, woo. Shout out to Lisbetry, who gave out 1 community sub, but it actually doesn't tell me who it went to. Maybe I can find it over here. Lisbetry gifted it to Mint the Proto. So pretty good. Shout out to Endomatrix, who resubscribed for the 10th month and says, we've all missed you so much. In all caps.
So much,
we've missed you too. Shout out to Captain Fake Guy for donating 1,000 bits. Shout out to Ghost Dunk for resubscribing for the 36th month and said 3 years.
Boop, boop.
Shout out to Madscan for redeeming a drink. Shout out to The Snarked for resubscribing for the 37th month. Shout out to Lady M for resubscribing for the 23rd month and saying, I love you guys. Kyle and I are packing for our move back to which I'm pretty sure means Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. You guys are moving back? That's crazy.
Safe journeys. Moving sucks.
Yeah.
And I hope it goes well. Shout out to, I'm going to do these in a weird order, Lisbetry, Sherry Sue, Lisbetry, and Madscan for redeeming the remaining 5 drinks. Also, shout out to Lisbetry, Sherry Sue, Madscan, Captain Fake Eye, and Chloe Michelle for redeeming high fives, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high fives. So, all right.
It's a sad one.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4.
I feel like I haven't high-fived you in a long time.
5, 6. Yeah, it's been a while. So, all right, so we have 6 drinks to go. I am just drinking my typical rum and Coca-Cola, so I'm going to take sips on that, although I do read next. We're going to scroll to the tippy top and give some, we're just going to read your guys' stuff, not give shout-outs. The first person, however, in either channel was Lisbetry, who is here at 5:44, a full 45 minutes early.
Oh, wow.
Said, I'm so excited for tonight. I hope your hiatus was everything you needed it to be. Also, woo!
We definitely needed a break. I'm going to get a drink, though.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Oh, shit. Sorry. BB.
Okay. Ow. What's up, y'all? I got this shirt at Anime Expo. It says, "I'm not procrastinating. I'm doing side quests," and I love it. I got actually a lot of shirts at Anime Expo. It was really fun. All right, what else am I going to read here? Enzomatrix says, "Hey, that's cheating. I can't even see what typed, but I'm super excited as well." Enzomatrix also said, "Woo." Glitch Grim says, "Oh my god, it's time." Pink Penguin said, "Yay, welcome back." Captain Vega said, "Yay, welcome." Laura Ann says, welcome back, everyone." Gonna keep scrolling. Lots of hellos and OMFG with a woo. Chloe Michelle says, "Oh my god, Spooky Fam, I missed you all. It is so good to be back." Gonna keep scrolling. Matt Scan says, "How is everyone on this fine Wednesday evening?" I'm alright. Yesterday was complicated. I had that day off because I knew that Anime Expo was the 1st through the 4th and that our July 4th was going to be very busy and very exhausting. We hadn't really thought through what day we were going to come back, and then we talked about it a couple weeks ago and we're like, let's shoot for the first week of July. And July 5th, of course, was the first Tuesday. So because of that, our recording was supposed to take place the week prior, but preparing for Anime Expo was a ton of work, and we wound up not really getting a chance to. We picked our topics and started writing our scripts Monday night on 4th of July with all the explosions going on in the background. I was like, hey, I'm off tomorrow. Why don't we just record in the morning? And Robin was like, all right. And then the morning wound up being the afternoon, and then the afternoon wound up being the evening. So we got it out on Tuesday, barely. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back to regular Tuesday at 4 a.m. cadence moving forward, but who knows?
Hawaiian Punch and whiskey a bad idea?
I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. You're going to have to give it a name, though. But yeah, when we recorded, things went well. The editing was a nightmare because Reaper was being super assholey to me. So hopefully that doesn't happen again with this. But I think the streaming is going pretty well. So I don't see any dropped frames. Everything looks pretty good. Fingers crossed it stays that way. Let's keep scrolling.
I feel like this is a really bad idea.
Lower Ann says doing pretty well. Now one girl says, I'm on vacation, so I get to watch live. Elizabeth Tree says, besides tired, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Scrolling.
I haven't drank since the last time we did a live episode.
Now one girl says that they're not out or anything. Or they're not in a fun place. They're just not at work. Staycation indeed. Mad Scan says, doing pretty good. Got a negative COVID test today, which meant I could leave my boyfriend's house. Thank God. That's funny. Pink Penguin says, you guys are a breath of fresh air. Captain Big Guy says, y'all look beautiful.
Oh,
thank you. I almost shaved off my goatee. I grew in like the full bushy beard and I shaved down to the goatee last week, and then I was thinking like, kind of want to just get rid of it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm very finicky. Plus, facial hair grows back. So
that's true. What if one day it doesn't?
I'll be really sad. I like my facial hair. I like shaving down to whatever I want and having it come back in a month. Face is basically working in the hospital. Is what an inpatient month is. Faces, how is everyone? I'm super tired on my inpatient month. Sherry Sue says, hey all, I was off today for a doctor's appointment and I was still drained. I hate seeing the oncologist. It takes everything out of me. I hope you're recharging your batteries and moving forward because that is super, super important. So we're hanging in there with you. Glitch says, I have that shirt. I got it for my birthday. I love T-Turtle. Nice look, Adam. LOL. It's funny.
I like his other one. He got a DM one, like a Dungeon Master one.
I got one of a dragon behind like a DM shield. And then I got one where it's someone stuffing a bunch of random items into their sack and says, I'm saving these for later. Gentari over there, I hope I said your name right, in Facebook says, so happy you guys are back. Thank you. We're happy to be back. I'm going to keep scrolling. Carrie over in YouTube says, so happy to see you guys. Hope you are well. Sounds like that was a good experiment. I'm going to keep scrolling.
I got COVID during the break too. That was
oh yeah, Robin got COVID.
Yep.
Robin got a new job that should be starting soon.
Maybe.
I mean,
I have a drug test tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
I'm gonna fail it, JK.
I got promoted, which is cool.
Wait, do you fail because you don't know anything about the drugs? Because it's a test about drugs.
No, they give you a bunch of drugs, and depending on how you behave, is a pass or fail. You have to pretend like you're not on drugs while you're loaded up with drugs. So I'm gonna give you the mouse, and I'm gonna take some of my drinks.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've learned Hawaiian Punch and whiskey is not good. Let's see. Oh yes, Sherry Sue says, good to see you, Elizabeth Tree. Congratulations on your new daughter. She's adorable. She is definitely absolutely adorable.
I believe it's Sloan. Her name is Sloan.
Yeah.
Sloan Batry. Happy birthday. Welcome to the world, Sloan Batry.
Jesus Christ. Let's see.
I think that's 2.
Lizard Tree says I can't sleep with the windows open.
Same.
They love scary stories to tell in the dark. I like scary stories to tell in the dark as well. I was literally just talking to Jules about this earlier. Glitch says, right, there's so many noises, it's so loud, plus bugs. It's definitely loud with the window open, but sometimes it's so hot you just need that window open.
It's true. Our room in Anaheim gets kind of hot sometimes.
I bought some jasmine perfume recently. It says Pink Wang.
Pink Wangwin.
I feel like, what is his name? Benedict Cumberbatch. Can't say
Penguins.
And all I can think about is the Dybbuk box for sure. Like the pulling of this box from the floorboards. Definitely Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
Let's see. Glitch says, does it smell like it's cursed and haunted? Lizard Tree says Bram and Edward, vampires, man.
It's true.
Fake Eye says those are definitely vampire names. And so says, but real question, are they sparkling vampires?
Don't think so. Nothing in the story indicated that they were sparkling. Thank the Lord.
Captain Fake Eye says, it's no longer vampire season. Now I'm all about hot fairy high lords.
Wow. Hashtag Sarah Moss.
J Moss.
Sarah J Mass.
Oh, don't we have one of those books?
Sarah J Moss. I have one that she's already read. She's on a different series now, though.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize it.
I saw that on the table.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Marsha and George recommended it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll check this out. And then when I got it, Faye finished book 12 of Wheel of Time, and I was like, oh my god, steamroll into 13. She's like, hold up, I need my fairy porn, and then I'll move into book 13. I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, wait, who writes your fairy porn book? And she said the one that she's on is a different one, and then she said the one that she read before is actually the one that I have.
Oh, okay.
So
can I read it?
Sure.
All right.
After me.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yes, she also mentioned she's on the second to last book of Wheel of Time.
It's so good. Rand is so fucking cool.
Faye says no vampires, all hot fairy dudes. It's funny when you think about that because it's a book, right? And they don't show you pictures necessarily, but you know, in your mind, you're like, they hot. I
picture every supposed hot supernatural dude as Alexander Skarsgård or Joe Manganiello at this point. That's the two brand of hot dude I want to see in my fiction. So it's either Alcide or Eric Northman.
I do like Eric.
God, they're both just super gorgeous.
He's actually good in that one movie where he's mute.
He's good in all those movies. Alexander Skarsgård fucking rocks. Also, Joe Manganiello rocks.
I don't know what else he's in other than like How I Met Your Mother.
I mean, he's in a lot. I will say he's also like a celebrity dungeon master, so he has like celebrity dungeon and dragon games, which makes him like infinitely hotter. So,
Glitch says also I've been to Denny's 6 times, y'all, and no Mothman, just heartburn and regret. What?
I didn't know Mothman was supposed to be at Denny's.
Yeah, what?
That's funny. Elizabeth Tree appreciated my sound effects. Norma B over there in YouTube says wave at spooky friends. Hi to everyone out there.
Hello.
Carrie says.
Yes, the flow of the story was very odd.
It was 100%. I think this is my last drink.
Elizabeth Tree says, "Ends of Matrix, you need that shirt." It's a very cute shirt. I like it.
T-Turtle has some good shit, and they have some great deals at the con too. I also got a free game. Hang on. Since they gave it to me for free, I'll show it.
Elizabeth Tree says, "Happy promotion and good luck, Robin. Thank you. I'm gonna need it because I don't even know what I'm doing." All right. Laura says, "Sloan Bittree."
Elizabeth Tree says, "Oh my God, Sloan Bittree, I love it. I'm glad." I got this for free because I bought 3 t-shirts called Here to Slay. It is a strategic role-playing fantasy card game from the creators of Unstable Unicorns. In this game, you'll assemble a full party of heroes and slay dangerous monsters while sabotaging your friends with a strike through that says enemies. Brace yourself for a fast-paced, adorable, and utterly destructive adventure. And I got this con-exclusive card to add to my deck. Shout out to T-Turtle. You guys are awesome. And all the people in the booth are also very friendly. I got the wrong size and I had to go back and like they gave me no shit whatsoever. They swapped it out immediately and I was like, you know what? I'm buying another fucking shirt then. So
yep.
I got an incognito shirt for Robin.
Yes. I already wore it. It's in the laundry now.
It is.
Literacy says, OMG Sloan Bittree. I love it. That's so funny. Literally says, I want Benedict Cumberbatch to be my sexy fairy.
That's fair.
I feel like he's just too tall to be a fairy.
I mean, Eric Northman is like 6'4", and I think
He's
Alcide.
not a fairy. He's a vampire.
Alcide is. Yeah, I'm saying those are my two dudes, though. So I'm pointing out that he would actually be the short version.
But you're into tall dudes.
Yeah.
Not I mean, that's...
My dudes have to be
type.
taller than me.
They have to be taller. Pink Penguin says, benevolent cucumber. Laura Ann says, I have the incognito shirt. I love it. Yeah.
It's super cute.
It's so cute. Adam got it for me, like, as a surprise. He was like, hey, I got you this shirt. I was like, oh, shit. Thank you.
Indeed. So I think we're caught up on chat, so we can move into the second story.
Yes, and your story is not as overbearingly long, so...
I need the mouse.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna actually... I guess I'll just do the intro when I mark it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now mark it. Weirdo. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move into our second story of the show. This one is actually from a spooky friend, and it is from Amber. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a full redesign on the website. The website also hasn't been updated in like 100 episodes. That's on me. I'm going to do a full redesign, get an episode or a page for each episode like I had been doing in the past. But what I want to do is add a feature in. So if we do get more Pastatimes in the future, I'll just post them there. So people can go and read and you guys can get full credit, because I think it's really good that people write. I don't want to discourage that, and I really appreciate those of you out there who do and send them to us. And I am always more than happy if you're going to send these still, even if we're not going to have Pastatime episodes, to read them and let you know what I think and provide, constructive criticism. And I'd be more than happy to put it up somewhere where other people can read it as well. So that said, let's get into Amber's story. And it goes like this. It's called Late Night TV, an Amber original. And it starts out...
I like that title.
I do too. I watch TV to fall asleep. It's a habit that I grew in childhood.
I think a lot of people actually do. It's not rare to find somebody who falls asleep to TV. I know recently we've been putting on stuff to fall asleep to.
Yeah. 100%. I did it multiple times for the first time in a long time.
So this might actually be really relatable.
I don't know. We're about to find out. It continues. I had issues falling asleep as a kid, and it helped me calm down to rest. Because of this, it gradually became impossible to sleep without it. It concerned my parents a little, but I was a fussy kid and they'd do anything to get me to rest. Now, it's just become a nightly routine for me. I get ready for bed, climb under the covers, and then switch on the TV. If there was anything good, I'd sit and watch until eventually I fall asleep. If there wasn't, I just leave it on some antique roadshow or paid programming channel and keep the volume down while I lay down to rest. It didn't matter either way. Just as long as the TV was on, I would be asleep in only a few minutes. This routine was carried out all throughout high school, college, and into adulthood as I entered my first job. I was working late shifts, which meant I got home in the early morning. This was fine. I was used to pulling all-nighters in college anyways. It only meant there'd be hardly anything good to watch. Maybe I'd catch a rerun of a nostalgic show, but otherwise, I was stuck with someone trying to sell me a blender.
I remember, like, Nick at Night. Did you ever watch Nick at Night? Where they had, like, Three's Company and stuff like that.
I would watch some Nick at Night, but most of the shows that they had on, I wasn't really too into. I would usually just, like, because I had a VCR, I'd watch Aliens on repeat endlessly. So, or True Lies.
Now, like, we can just put on Netflix, and then Netflix just goes through it, and then at least when I watch on my iPad, once it gets to the point where it's like continue, it'll turn off my iPad, so I don't have to worry about it. Lizzie
says in our chat, which I normally don't read in the episode, but I think this deserves a shout out. She goes, Toonami, which was 100% my jam until Toonami was over. And then after that, the paid programming shit would kick in. I'd be like, ugh. Nowadays, though, it's kind of funny because to put on something for background noise, I can't put on something too compelling. This is a good example. If I'm going to watch a movie to fall asleep to, A Million Ways to Die in the West for me is perfect because it's funny and I like it, but I can fall asleep to it. If I put on The Martian with Matt Damon, I will watch it till the end and be like, shit, I should have slept 2 hours ago.
Well, even, what is it, Hot Fuzz? If we put on Hot Fuzz, I'm like, I was
watching it to the end.
I know almost every single word in that fucking movie, but
there has to be
watch it.
Like programming that you can ignore, but are pleasantly listening to in the background to fall asleep to. It's weird. You have to create your own like infomercial almost as like white noise. But all right, I'm going to keep going on because I think we can all relate to the story so far. One particular tiring night of work, I hardly made it through the door before flopping down in bed. I had just enough energy to grab the remote and turn it on, leaving it on whatever channel it was already on. Within a couple of minutes, I was Within a couple of minutes, I was fully passed out. I lifted my head and looked, god damn it. Rails.
You only slipped 4 words, I mean.
But then, I woke up. I lifted my head and looked at my alarm clock to see 3 a.m. glowing in red numbers.
Big nope.
I was confused as I had never woken up in the middle of sleeping like this. I frequently woke up in the middle of the night when I was younger, but not in any recent years. I sat up and decided to use this time to change out of my work clothes, but I got distracted by the unfamiliar commercial jingle on the TV. I looked over at a red screen, entranced by the music before the dialogue began. Charisma? Fame? Influence over others? These are the qualities of a great cult leader.
What the what?
The job offer is open in your area. Starting pay, $20 an hour. But wait, there's more. If you call us in the next minute, we'll throw in a bonus deal. The power to get away with any crime of your choosing. Call now and gain a following of hundreds. Today.
Just hundreds?
Sounds pretty fucking dope. All of the words appeared... That was not in the story. That was just me. All of the words appeared across the screen in cheesy animations. It made my sleep-deprived brain laugh at the number 666 flashed in bold and a timer slowly counting down in the corner of the screen. My mind was still half asleep as I reached into my back pocket and pulled out my phone. This is a bad decision you're making.
Yep.
I didn't have any more control over my body. It was as though I was being directed into the motions. I dialed 666 after a few sloppy tries. It went through. I held the phone to my ear, still giggling, as someone picked up on the other end. Hello, Daniel. We've been hoping to reach you for a while.
Oof.
I could hardly remember the conversation after that introduction, but long story short, I have an interview on Monday.
I think that's a
great fucking story. I absolutely love this story. So thank you so much, Amber, for sending that to us. It's really, really good. So I think there was some other part of this particular email where it just mentions that this wasn't actually an assignment for school or any class. This was just like fun. And I think this is really good. This is one of my favorite creepypastas we've ever run the show. So shout out to you, Amber, for writing that and sending it to us. We sincerely appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
It's a nice ending.
I agree. I should save that for the end. That would have been the perfect thing to end Pastatime on.
Yeah.
I was like, here's one that's fucking awesome from someone who listens to our show.
Yeah.
But
straight
hey,
up, 100.
Okay, maybe I'll edit this to the back of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I won't do that. It's too much work. But anyways, thank you so much. All right, let's look over in stream chat, see what you folks had to say.
So, did you ever watch G4? Sorry.
I did not. Actually, all my friends watched G4, but I did not.
They had anime that they played on G4 too, and that's why I watched like Serial Experiments Lane. It was more like dark animes, not necessarily like DBZ type, you know.
Dragon Ball Z is just so fucking good.
Like I remember what Toonami had like Samurai Jack and stuff like that. Was Sailor Moon on Toonami?
Maybe.
Or
she is the one called Sailor Moon.
Damn it.
There was a lot of Sailor Moon song singing happening at Anime Expo this past weekend.
Because there was lots of Sailor Moons.
Yeah.
Or different Sailor characters. Sailor Scouts, they're called, right?
Shout out to Eve over on Facebook. I just have to read this. It says, y'all look so beautiful. And there was
thank you.
3 celebratory emojis posted as well.
Toot.
I had to read it because my name's Adam. So it's a requirement that I acknowledge Eve as soon as possible.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
One of my professors, the final professors I had, I think for our senior design project, we because we had all the Zoom meetings and stuff like that, he would be like, okay, if you guys get what I'm saying, press the toot toot emoji or stuff like that.
Also, I'm pretty sure Toonami had, I'm trying to think of other things besides Dragon Ball Z I watched on Toonami. I don't know. The late night Toonami had Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I think.
I know for anime they had like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun.
Oh yeah, I remember Trigun on it.
Yeah, they had a lot of those older animes for sure. Pink Penguin says they remember Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know, was Tenchi Muyo one of those too?
Maybe. What's the name of the one where he's like a demon, he has a sword, and he has a brother who's an asshole? Yeah, I remember seeing Inuyasha on there. Latreia says, hi, welcome back. Thank you, Latreia. Entomatrix says, thank you to me for giving our daughter an official nickname. I'm so excited. Lizard Tree and I have already decided. That's awesome.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Also, Enzomatrix says, Toonami was the greatest. Enzomatrix, help me out. What channel played Reboot? Because I'm trying to remember if it was like early, like in the day on Cartoon Network, or when the hell or where the hell it was played. But god, it was so good. Okay, Laura Ann says, I used to watch Nick at Night all the time. I Love Lucy and Three's Company were my favorites. Literally says, I forgot about a crazy night when I got a call from 666 and heard loud rattling chains. This happened 12-ish years ago, and the chain noise was heard by someone else as well. It was terrifying. There was a way where you could dupe your number into when you called someone saying it was from 666, and people used to do that with soundboards and shit. And I used to always just play into it and just like mess with my friends while they called. Liz Tree says Sailor Moon, Magic Knight, Rareth. I think actually Robin already read this one. Oh, Big O. I forgot about Rigo. Big O. Just name a few I watched on Toonami. Pink Penguin says One Piece. I remember when Naruto premiered. Blue Exorcist and Enzo Matrix. Bunny Cake says hello, spooky friends. Hello, Bunny Cakes. Glitch says Cartoon Network. Enzo Matrix says it was UPN for reboot. Okay, God, so far back in the day. Pink Penguin says Bleach was on Adult Swim. Man, I forgot so much. Snark says reboot was on in the afternoons. Yeah, it definitely wasn't one of the night shows. Good shit though. All right, well, Robin's gone. I will pop over into Twitch and run that 60-second ad. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, you will not get this. If you are subbed on Twitch, you will not get this. But if you do get it, we'll be back in 60 seconds. And by we, I mean I. Anyways, how y'all doing? It was a good break. It's very needed. Definitely going to have more breaks in the future. So, don't want to burn out. Don't want to stop the show or anything like that. I was like, we decided to do the break very spontaneously. And my first 5 days, I was having such a hard time with not preparing content. You know, because it's like kind of the routine is like, this is the routine for Scaryish that I fall into, like assuming your weeks start on Monday, which I think on calendars they start on Sunday, but Monday is work, immediately switch over to picking a topic, doing research, then we record, then I edit, then it's like 4 a.m. Tuesday I rest. Wednesday, set up the stream, either send story time at Homegrown Horrors to my mom to be proofread, get the stream set up, get them back hopefully in time, and then coordinate everything, or if it's Pastatime, get everything set up, and then you have to pick creepypastas, which means you have to read the stories to make sure their content is acceptable and they don't suck, which is important. And then Thursday I have to edit it because I am so wiped out by the end of the show. I typically don't want to edit. So Thursday I edit. Friday is nothing. Saturday we used to do the live streams for games, but we stopped doing that. So we had like Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the break. So only really 3 days where I'm not thinking about Scaryish. And so when we took the break, like those days were really difficult because I was like, oh shit, like I need to have stuff prepared. I need to be like getting stuff ready. And then after we had been on break for a couple of days or like a couple of weeks, I was like, oh my God, I never want to do it again. Because it was just so nice to not have something. But at the same time, we just really missed it. So, and we missed you guys. So we're happy to be back. Enzo Matrix says, Mailman used to wake up early in the morning and watch Reboot and also the CG of Starship Troopers. Pink Penguin says, there are compilations on YouTube of old Toonami commercials. Madscan says, all right, I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in a bed in a week, and I'm so excited. I'll talk to you all later. So glad it's back. Thank you for joining us, Madscan. All right.
My turn?
I'm going to hand you back the mouse, and you can go ahead and do your next one.
All right. Ooh. Oh, man.
Oh, it's very dirty.
Yeah, the mouse is dirty. It's sweaty. Why is it only on one side?
I don't know.
All right. Oh, wait. Can I put that there?
If you want, it'll be a little bit difficult to move. You'll probably hit a bunch of buttons, and that'll screw up the stream.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Let me take one more drink first.
Fighting evil with moonlight. Always running from a moon fight. She is the one named Moony Moon. I was also singing the same song. I was singing the lyrics, but I was replacing like Moonlight with like Jupiter Light.
Jesus.
Because like they have to have different theme songs because the words just don't match up. Anyways.
All right, so my next story is titled The Wanderer, which just gives me Fallout vibes.
Yeah, 100%. That song immediately started playing in my head. All
right, so it begins. Back in the 1990s. I hate that it's like back in the 1990s.
I mean, it's 30 years ago.
Oh, so. Shit, no!
Welcome to being old.
Stop! Oh, no. All right, back in the 1990s. A girl committed... Oh, no, that's sad now. Back in the 1990s, a girl committed suicide after viewing an image posted on an old news group. The image was of a figure, which some identified as a woman standing in the middle of a lonely road. The figure is transparent to the point that its legs are barely visible and is illuminated by an unknown light source coming from the direction of the camera. Whether it's headlights, a handheld flashlight, or the light of the camera itself isn't known for sure, as the actual source of the image has never been identified. No facial features can be made out, but the figure is most easily identified by its long, bony appendages, which partly resemble a spider's legs. Those who have seen the image or know of its existence have come to know the figure as the Wanderer. I like looking at this picture and I'm trying to see if I see it.
I think it's just a picture of a road.
Okay.
I don't see a picture, or I don't see an image of a woman with spider legs on there.
Okay. The first known Wanderer account occurred in 1996. Jane, a college girl who was visiting her family during the holiday season, had an interest in the paranormal. She saw the Wanderer image on a news group along with a message reading, "Do you see me? I can see you too." Fuck that. Dozens of other users saw the same post. Most didn't think much of it, just that it was somehow, quote-unquote, funny. Some actually complained that they experienced headaches while they looked at the image, and similar claims have been made by others since. According to Jane's family, she suffered from nightmares in the nights after seeing the image. She claimed she would wake up and see the Wanderer outside her window. Sometimes it would scrape the glass with its spider-like limbs. You know, I was talking to Jules about spiders today, and spiders are just...
I hate them.
Yep, big
Here's the thing, we talked about this the other day, too, is that people that are like, oh, spiders, they like control pests, and they do all this, they do all that. They also fucking bite you with no provocation, because they'll bite you in your sleep, which makes them assholes.
But it's because they crawl into your space, and then you move around in your sleep, and then they're like, oh, fuck, and then bite you.
Still.
So.
My space, asshole. I'm trying to sleep.
But usually, it would just stand there and stare at her. She would find herself unable to move while in its presence, as if many unseen hands were holding her down. It's all the legs. Even if she closed her eyes, she would still see it. Her family was sure she had been frightened by an image online and was having nightmares as a result, until Jane complained of seeing the Wanderer in her waking life as well. She was convinced it was following her. She would see it even if she was in a room full of people or out in public, even though no one else saw anything. Jane's family feared for her sanity, but only assured her that the Wanderer wasn't real. Jane, however, only got worse. She began to...
Hang on 1 second. Margaret, I need 1 second.
You okay?
Yeah.
Much better. Wardrobe issues.
She began going to extreme lengths to stay awake at night. It started out just with caffeine and staying active, but quickly graduated to cutting herself and screaming all through the night.
Oh my god.
Before long, she wasn't sleeping at all. She was convinced that if she slept again, the Wanderer would take her. Nope. Her family knew they couldn't just wait and hope for the best. Jane needed help. But when Jane's mother knocked on her daughter's bedroom door, she received no answer. She carefully opened the door, not wanting to disturb or startle Jane, but she still heard nothing. Jane wasn't in her bed. She wasn't sitting at her computer. She didn't appear to be in her room at all, until her mom checked the closet. There, Jane was found curled in the corner, blood reddened the front of her body, having drained from the long slit across her throat.
Oh my god.
She was clutching a blood-stained note which read, "It can't have me now." Jane's case is not isolated. Through the rest of the 90s, dozens of others went missing or committed suicide after viewing the image of the Wanderer. Since the turn of the century, despite my best efforts at locating the image, it seems to have disappeared. Recently, though, I posted on a news group asking if anyone had heard of the Wanderer. I've done this many times before, and usually there's one or two people who have heard the story, but no one has seen the image. This time, it was different. Shortly after posting, I received an email in my inbox. The subject of the email was, "I can see you." The body only read, "Do you see me? I can see you too." There was an image attached with the message. I can't verify whether it's the real Wanderer image or not, but I must warn you that if you choose to view the image, you do so at your own risk.
Right on.
I would want to know, if they saw the image, did they have nightmares? Writer, as the writer, you'd be like, end the story with, I'm starting to see, have nightmares. I'm starting to see weird stuff. I want to know. Tell me.
I feel like this story follows the same pattern as other creepypastas we've read in the past about forbidden images or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still pretty good. I will say, I agree with your assessment of like, did they view it? If they did, like, it could end on, I mean, it's predictable to end that way, but it could be ending like something like, I had my first nightmare tonight or something like that, which is still kind of cheesy. But either way, it was solid. It was short.
Solid.
It was good.
Yeah.
So, good stuff, Wanderer Writer.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's look over in Stream Chat. Tori Poo over there on YouTube says, welcome back to podcasting. After your break, just listened to your newest episode, and I love your topics on my daily commute.
Thank you so much, Tori Poo.
Thank you. We sincerely appreciate that. Literally says, if you don't send this email to 20 other people, you will be haunted by the Wanderer.
Man, when MySpace was so huge
annoying.
and people kept messaging me that shit, I was like, yo, stop. I don't care. But some of the things that would happen to you, it kind of freaked me out.
Nothing ever happened.
No. I know, but what in the bodies of the letters? Be like,
like what it threatened you with?
Yeah, if you don't share this within like 3 days, a little boy is going to stand over you in your sleep and kill you.
And now on Facebook, there's still like chainmail shit, but it's different stuff now. It's like, if you don't share this image, you don't love Jesus. And I'm like, if Jesus is watching Facebook right now, and this is actually how I'm supposed to show my love for him, I'm pretty sure churches have had it wrong for a really long time.
I want to know why people want to do chain mails like that. Chain posts.
I think with those particular posts, they think it shows like pride in this thing, and they don't realize that it's just someone trying to see how much they can like spam through their image or whatever. I don't know. It's like that person didn't actually create that because they want to spread faith. That person created it because they wanted to see who would share it.
I always see the ones that are like, share this with 10 people and you'll get like $100 and you'll find the $100.
I actually hide the content that people share sometimes. So if they share something like that, I'll be like, I hate chainmail, and I'll just hide it. I'm like, nope, I'm not looking at this anymore. Like, I'll still see the stuff they share, but I won't see anything like that. So if they share it, it just won't hit my feed because I'm like, this is dumb. Knock it off. Just stop.
I mean, it is dumb.
Just stop. All right. Anyways, yeah. Ping Penguin says, I don't even know 20 other people, so I for sure would have been haunted.
I thought you were going to say, anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Anyways, here's Wonderwall. All right. We are caught up on the chat there because that was a relatively short story, so I'm going to move into the final story.
Sometimes on... Sorry. Sometimes on Instagram, where it's like, giveaway, tag like a friend or, a couple friends or X amount of friends. To be entered into the giveaway, and I'm just like, my sister and Adam.
What I always see,
I'm like, I don't tag any.
I see comments that are like, I will send $5,000 to the first person that DMs me, and like the comments of so many things, especially FMLs. If you follow FML's Instagram account, that's like the first 10 things that get posted. It's super annoying.
Or like, share to XYZ account. Like anytime you post a picture.
Yeah,
I hate those.
Yeah.
Oh my god, sweet content.
Promoted on We see those on Scaryish shit all the time. All right, gonna mark it. We're gonna move into the final story time. Nope. Final pasta time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move into my final story and the final pasta time of pasta time, unless we decide to resurrect pasta time, which I don't know if that's gonna happen. This one is called The Candle Man, and I did check to see if we've read it before because it sounded familiar, but we have not.
Is it because it kind of sounds like Candle Cove?
Maybe. And Slender Man. Fuck, yeah. We figured it out. It's written by an anonymous author, so I don't have to give them credit. All right. Starts out with like a, what do you call it? A nursery rhyme, and it starts out like this. Over the hill and through the moor, the Candle Man comes walking up to your door. The cadence just doesn't work either. He lights up a candle and walks to your bed, leaves the candle in the window, and leaves with your head.
All right. That's creepy.
That's the nursery rhyme my grandma used to tell me when I was young. Your grandma's fucked up.
What's the Freddy Krueger one?
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your doors. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Oh, okay.
I knew it. Because those movies fucked me up. All right, keep going. The grandmother told this creepy nursery rhyme to the kid. I remember that little rhyme terrifying me as a child as I cowered under the covers in the bed at her small country cottage, too scared to sleep. She described him as a tall, pale man in a robe who liked to kill little children.
Is this Freddy Krueger?
Why is it that when people back in the day needed to deter a kid from something, they always made up something where it's like, you'll be brutally fucking murdered? It was never something else. It was always like brutal murder or dragged away or something like that.
Growing up, my mom was like, if you whistle at night, the demons will enter you, or stuff like that. It's crazy stuff like that. Or ghosts will come for you. It was, I don't know why. Parents do that to their kids. I feel like you're going to do that to your kids.
I'm not going to make up shit where the consequence of like, oh, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you get fucking murdered. It's like...
Well, now you can just be like, you get brutally burned.
But if it's... honestly, usually the stakes are much lower and the consequences are much higher, is all I'm saying. All right, I'm going to keep going. The grandma said, and whenever he killed, Grandma would say in a hushed... Oh, fuck. And whenever he killed, Grandma would say in a hushed voice, he would leave a ghostly candle in their window.
What?
At that, she would yell out and make me jump back in fright while she shrieked with laughter.
Sounds like she's a mean grandma.
Yeah, no shit. I'm more afraid of the grandma than the Candleman. The Candleman. Even the name gives me chills. It seemed like such a horrible, scary thing to say to a child, but then again, Grandma was a scary woman. She was small, with weathered skin and cruel, sunken eyes. I mean, she probably didn't like you because you called her skin weathered.
And you said her eyes were cruel.
And sunken, that always seemed to glare at me.
You're a cruel child.
After Grandpa died, she hardly ever left her house, just sat in her rocking chair telling stories of the Candleman and taking delight in my fear, laughing madly when I jumped. I found her such a disgusting woman.
Oh, that's so mean. Your poor grandma.
Anyway, this is probably why she'd tell you these stories. Anyway, when I grew up, I learned that it wasn't her fault, really. Grandpa's death had shaken her up, messed with her head. She didn't know what was appropriate anymore. Grandpa was only alive when I was a baby, and I never knew him, but I learned when I was older how much he had meant to Grandma.
You didn't see the sun until you were already a man.
Without him, she had been broken. She died when I was 13, and I guess it didn't really come to me as much of a shock. She was incredibly old and frail. Just take a swing at her casket, why don't you?
Right?
Jesus
like,
fucking Christ. Now I'm 30, with a wife and a little girl. We have a comfortable suburban home, and I couldn't be happier. There has been one thing that's shaken me up recently, however. However isn't needed. It was a silly thing, but it still scared the hell out of me. A nightmare. In the dream, I was in my bedroom, comfy under the covers.
And then Freddy comes out with his claws and is like, stab, 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 stab.
When I heard a tune being played on the piano downstairs. I knew it was being played as soon as I heard it. The Candleman.
He has a song?
Apparently.
You know that
Would it be fucking awesome if they created like the scariest horror icon, but his song was fucking jock jams? Like some of the way to like da 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 da.
Well, have you ever heard the Candyman?
Yeah, everyone's heard the Candyman.
I'm hearing like the Candyman can, but like the Candleman can.
Wow. Who can rip your eyes out?
The Candleman can.
Goosebumps ran up my arms and neck, and ice filled my stomach. Ooh, I thought it was gonna be your veins. I sprinted down the narrow staircase into the living room where I saw a tall, pale figure in a robe holding a candle, leaving through the open door. The Candleman. He was about 6'4" or 5. Oh my god, he sounds super hot. With dead-looking, beady eyes and a wide, evil grin. I woke up suddenly in a cold sweat, turned on the light, and read until I was ready to sleep again. I put the dream down to too many drinks and the coming of Halloween, but it freaked me out anyways. And that takes me up to yesterday, Halloween night. I was trudging back from a party, not drunk, I don't drink, but still woozy from tiredness. You just said you had too many drinks before. Whatever. I thrust my hands into my pockets for warmth. Whilst I was walking back through the crisp orange leaves, the poem of the Candleman popped into my head. My heart began to thud as I walked down the poorly lit street, leaves crunching underfoot, the pale moon casting long shadows along the path. In my mind's eye, I could see the Candleman, thin and ghostly, running up to me and cutting off my head in one swing of an axe. Silly, I know, but the dark can make my imagination run wild sometimes. I arrived on my road and began to calm down. I felt silly for having let the poem get to me. I was perfectly safe under the streetlights. As I arrived at my front yard, I noticed a tall man in a robe standing at the end of the street, his face shrouded in darkness. He appeared to be staring at me. Once again, images of the Candleman flooded through my head, sending my heartbeat into overdrive. I shook it off. It's just a tall man out for Halloween. Nothing to be scared of, I assured myself as I attempted to slow my breathing. Then I looked up at my house, hearing demonic laughter from the man's direction. An icicle of terror stabbed at my heart. There, in my daughter's window, flickering softly, was a candle.
Fuck that.
Chase after him and get her head back.
Oh my god.
That was the end, by the way.
What? But you know she's dead in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. 100. Or his wife is fucking really mean with her jokes. Just saying, because why the fuck was this guy at a Halloween party without his wife?
Oh, that's true too.
This thing is obviously written by someone who's not a committed relationship where you do things together, because like Halloween party is something you're going to go to with your spouse.
Or it's not an actual like parent.
It should have been like him and the wife walking home together and thinking about how they left the daughter with the babysitter they trusted and da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, either way, it's still pretty creepy. And I enjoyed it, and it was good for the final Pastatime of Pastatime.
Yeah, I think all the stories chosen for this episode of Pastatime were solid choices.
Were you going to high-five me there for a second?
No, I did this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right on.
I mean, do you want high five? We can high five.
Sure.
Freebie.
There you go. And that, my spooky friends, is the end of Pastatime. But not the stream, because we still have marbles. And we're going to read what you guys said. So, Hazel over there on YouTube says, I'm super late, but am here. I super missed you guys. We missed you too.
Thank you so much, Pia.
Someone scrolling up said...
You know, it sounds really good. Halpia. Have you ever had that before?
Nope.
Like a coconut jelly dessert.
You lost me at coconut.
It doesn't have the texture of coconut, just the flavor. You might like it.
Sherry Sue says, okay, I was silent because I was trying to wrap my niece's birthday present. She turned 6 in
Happy
August.
Birthday,
We're
niece.
celebrating this weekend. Happy 6th birthday. Sherry Sue says, thanks. My birthday is on July 13th. We'll be in Ocean City, Maryland. I'm turning 46. Happy 46th birthday,
Happy
Sherry
46.
Sue. 911 girl says, mine is tomorrow.
Oh
Happy
my
early
God.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy early birthday to you, 911 girl. Wish we were in town to celebrate with you. We'll be back this weekend. Bunny Kick says, it's nice to have you guys back. I've been re-listening to early episodes to help me get through my RTMS, cranial magnetic stimulated treatments. Cool. We're happy if we're helping.
The Snark said Wolf's Rain. That's the show that was on Toonami. Wolf's Rain. That sounds familiar.
I've never heard of it.
That sounds.
I think of that Wolf Kids movie when I hear Wolf's Rain.
Oh man, that movie is so depressing.
It really is. Glitch says, it's always been a thing, I suppose, LOL. Also because, y'all, I have to check the toilet for demons. That's funny. I still check the toilet for spiders like every time I go to take a poop.
Oh my god. Didn't you find something in the toilet the other day that was like...
No.
Like you opened the toilet when we got back from Vegas and you were like, there's a bug in here.
No, I don't think that was me.
Maybe it was someone else.
That's going to make me paranoid, though. So, honestly, if there's a spider in the toilet and I'm getting ready to poop, like, spider's getting the worst end of that. Let's be real.
But what if it crawls so fast, crawls up your butt?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get bit on my butt, is what it comes down to. But it's gonna regret it. No, you're not. All right, gonna keep scrolling here. Latrice says, happy early birthday to Sherry Sue. Now one girl says, thanks everyone for all the happy birthdays that were tossed out. I read Hazel's message. Lots more happy birthdays. Snark says, I get off at 7:30 p.m. now. I guess Wednesdays is Scaryish at work night. LOL. Gonna keep scrolling. Glitch says, that's me too now. That's me too now, I think is what is it. Snark says, it was dramatic.
Well, Enzo Matrix says, what's Wolf Rain? And then Glitch says, that's me to know.
Yeah, but he said this to the Snark.
Oh.
At the Snark. Someone asked what Wolf's Rain was, and Snark replied, it was a dramatic wolf-centered anime on Toonami. I missed the first few episodes, so I just never got into it.
Oh, that's me too now, because the Snark says I get off at 7:30, so Wednesdays is scary.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hazel says, yes, Robin, all the Hawaiian food, or lumpia even.
Oh, yo, banana lumpia. Have you ever had that too?
I've had lumpia, but not banana lumpia.
Okay, so banana lumpia is like banana caramelized in sugar, wrapped in like a lumpia wrapper, and then has like sugar glaze all over it, like caramelized sugar on it.
So much sugar.
So good though. Like it's so bad for you, but heckin' like I'll just throw down so many of those.
Wow.
They're so good.
Shout out to Amy4244 for following us over there on Twitch. We appreciate you. Also, Sherry Sue says, thanks, Ab and Robin. Miss you guys. I need to order more stickers soon because I need to order new water bottles.
Aw. And
Right
there's new
designs.
stickers now.
Yeah.
Lots of new stickers.
Liztree says, Wolf Children, such an emotional movie. Indeed. Snark says to Liztree, I heard about that too. All right, I'm going to hand off the mouse for the chat to Robin so I can set up marbles.
Pia says, yes. The Snark says, guys, dessert xiaolongbao. We actually had that the other day. We had the black sesame one, and then we had a taro one. The black sesame was so good, and it's just delicious, like, I don't know.
Xiaolong bao chicken bao wow.
But it was at Din Tai Fung, and that place is overpriced as fuck.
It is overpriced, but it's still really fucking good.
Lizardtree says, I watch it when I need to cry, like Grave of Fireflies. I still have not seen Grave of the Fireflies. I'm too scared, kind of, to watch it, actually, because I hate crying, even though, like, this last season of Stranger Things had me cry in that last episode.
Don't spoil it for anyone.
I'm not going to spoil it for everyone.
I really enjoyed the last season of...
The last season was very
this
good.
Most recent season, I should say. This wasn't the final season or anything. Next season is the final season, so...
Oh my gosh, the Snark says, oh damn, DTF. You know what's funny is DTF to me means down to fuck. But out here, it's downtown Fullerton, and now you're saying it's Din Tai Fung. I'm like, DTF is too many things all at once. Down to fuck
in downtown Fullerton at Din Tai Fun.
Lizardtree says, be scared. It makes me cry for 3 days, just like the anime Dog of Flanders. I've never watched Dog of Flanders.
Same. Oh shit, I left it on the wrong thing. Alright, so go ahead and start your voting. Exclamation point vote, then a space and the number that corresponds with the track you would like to raise.
I just started watching Stranger Things Season 4.
It's so good.
It's so good.
What's funny is when we were watching, I was like, oh man, I can tell these movies influence this season super hard. And I was like naming them off, and then I saw an article today where the Duffer Brothers were like, so yeah, we were born in like 1984, and these were definitely the movies that influenced this season. And I was like, I fucking called it! And it was like all three of them that I was saying. I was very, very happy about that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and vote random number because no numbers right now are popping to my brain.
I know maybe after this we should watch some Spy Family.
What I would like to watch is The Boys Season 3.
Oh, okay, we can watch that too. We can watch that first, and then we'll watch Spy Family.
If you want, we can watch Spy Family with Jess, because Jess is home, and then when we go to bed, we can watch The Boys. And I'll probably stay up all night watching it.
Okay.
Because it's good.
We were supposed to sleep in a weird angle the other day.
Yeah, I got to the bed, I was like, fuck that. We're going to sleep like it was a day bed, or it was like it was a futon where you like would sit in it, but if it was like folded down. And I was like, you know what I could use it like instead? A bed. All right, Cosmic Chaos is currently in the lead with 3 votes, which is not a lot, so I'll let it scroll by one more time. When it gets back to it, we are going to use Cosmic Chaos as our first race. We're doing 2.
Lizardtree says, Spy Family is awesome. I love it. Anya is just the cutest, freaking most hilarious character. I actually bought like way too much Anya merch at Anime Expo. A lot of people were buying Anya merch at Anime Expo. I can't tell you how many your cosplayers we saw this weekend. It was like, since Adam's never seen Spy Family yet, Stella Chu was cosplayed as Spy Family on Saturday. On Saturday, she was cosplayed. And we walked past her, and I was just like, that's Stella Chu. She's dressed as Yor, and Adam's like, who's Yor? And there was a girl standing, like, walking in front of us as we were walking. I was like, that's Yor. Because everyone was dressed as Yor. It's just like, Yor.
You get a Yor. Everyone gets a Yor. All right, still Cosmic Chaos, and we're coming super close to it.
The Snark says, my friend was Sailor Freddie Mercury. That's funny.
That's funny. He is the one named Freddie Mercury.
Laura Ann says, just started watching The Boys. Just started season 2. That show is sucked, but I'm really enjoying it so far.
It's very gory.
I mean, the end of season 1, when it's already been 2 seasons since, so I'm just going to say this, when the invisible dude gets his butt blown out, just like...
I mean, he just gets blown up, period.
Yeah, but like how it happens is
it's so gross. All right, the average time to complete Cosmic Chaos is 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The world record time is 1:51. Locally, 2:16 is the average time, and Sherry Sue holds the Scaryish record at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. This will be our track to race.
All right.
It says, if you can read this, your monitor is upside down. All right, go ahead and type in exclamation point play to get your marble on stream.
There's lots of new stickers on the Etsy shop.
So the stakes are high again, y'all.
Stakes are high. There's lots of new stuff. There's so much new stuff. So go check it out. It's pretty friggin' sweet.
And if Robin or I win, we have decided that you have to give us your credit card information, and we're not going to tell you what for.
A new car.
A new car. All right, we only have 11 marbles so far, which is super disheartening.
That's like a fraction of the people that are watching.
It is. Exclamation point play, folks.
Exclamation point play. Free opportunity to get a sticker of your choice from my Etsy shop that has all our Scaryish stuff on there. So, come on down.
Wow. All right, I'm going to start the counter at 75 seconds. After 75 seconds are up, we are going to get this race going.
Did I join?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we have 12 marbles. Says we have 25 people watching. Not sure if I trust it anymore, or if there's just folks that are just like,
well,
no,
if you're on
I don't wanna
Facebook
race.
or YouTube, you do have to be.
I could check it, but I don't have the mouse.
On oh yeah, I have the mouse. I'm sorry.
No, you were scrolling.
Welcome,
You see me
Amy,
scrolling.
in joining us over here on Twitch.
Click. Yeah, it says we have 20 people over there on Twitch, 4 on
if you guys are
YouTube, and
if you
1
guys are chilling, doing
on
laundry,
Facebook.
doing something else.
Chloe Michelle says, are we betting on winners? I forgot to put the bet up, so we will do it next race for sure, which is just who will die last, Robin or I. So we'll save that for the second race. All right, only 20 seconds left. The odds of winning one of the new stickers are very high for 11 of you because you are joined in the race. Gonna put my arm over here. I said 11 because me and you are both in it, and we can get as many fucking stickers as we want.
That's true.
So, all right, 5, 4, 3, blue, and oh,
wow,
it's a spaceship
look at this
one.
map.
We've done this one before.
There's so many loop-de-loops.
All right, so we have a funnel to start, otherwise known as a slopey hole. And it takes so long to get through the hole. I'm not even going to try and hold that. Hold. Get it? Oh my god.
Some people are really lucky and they just kind of pop out of the hole. See?
So the first person out of the hole is Sherry Sue. This is actually the track she holds the record on, and she's currently in first place. We will follow Sherry Sue. What a wonderful profile picture you have there. We're going to see who is able to make it through the loop-de-loops first. There is 2 tracks that I think converge back into 1 track further on.
I like the aesthetic. Like, the colors of this track are very pretty.
They're very galaxy. All right, we're going to stop right here and wait to see who catches up first. I think Lizard Tree is on the rightmost track. Sherry Sue is on the leftmost track, and that is who was in the lead. And it looks like it's going back and forth right now, but still around there. Laura Ann is in second. We're going to follow Sherry Sue again as they go through this weird thing that ends in another funnel. That's going to another funnel. And Sherry Sue's Ghost Ball is actually like way far ahead now. Oh my god, this is so confusing. Bunny Cakes is in first place. Enzo Matrix is in second. Robin is in third. Sherry Sue is now in fourth.
It's always interesting to watch these because the tracks are sometimes so absolutely crazy. And the way you move the stuff around, I'm like, oh, where's going on?
All right, looks like Bunny Cakes is holding a pretty healthy lead. I don't know how many spots there are going to be to catch up aside from the very end, because it doesn't look like there's a spot to fall off. I think there's a few pulsating rods back here. Oh, these are like golf tees. Robin just got hit with. Bunny Cakes is like way far ahead now. Enzo Matrix says it's in second place, but I don't see Enzo Matrix anywhere. Bunny Cakes might have this in the bag, but we will see, because this is a lot of speed bumps, slowing them down, and Enzo Matrix is charging hard. Bunny Cakes bumps into one of the tees.
Oh, which reminds me, I got all of the stickers that she sent me, finally.
Oh, yeah, it did come to our P.O. box. We were able to finally retrieve it. Congratulations, Bunny Cakes, on your victory. Enzo Matrix comes in second.
Stickers. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
There's all like the BT21 washi tapes and stuff. They're so cute.
Somehow the Snarked fell off. We don't know how that happened, but RIP the Snarked. Amy 4244. Laura Ann also fell off. Amy comes in 7th place in the first race. Congratulations on that. Glitch looks like he is poised to take 8th, and I'm probably going to take 9th as long as I don't screw it up. As long as I don't... There we go. Pink Penguin's going to round out the top 10. And that is it. So again, congratulations to Bunny Cakes. On this season, they gathered 26 points from that. I don't know why, but hey, there's a new way to distribute points, so we'll take it. Enzo Matrix goes up to 19, Lizard Tree goes up to 13. Everyone else stays at 0. This is weird. But yay, haven't won in forever, says Bunny Cakes. Don't forget to message us, let us know which sticker you want and where to send it. Go ahead and start voting on what the next race is going to be by typing !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds with the track you would like to race.
Which says, just want to hang out in the back, haven't talked to you in a while. It's so funny. Man, so much happened in this past month. Like,
seriously,
all the
dude.
events, and like, I feel like I've driven back to. Oh, I passed my EIT. That also happened.
That was the FE or the PE?
That's the FE, and so it's that was a rush. Like, I tried to change my exam date, and it wouldn't let me change it. So I was like, well, I guess we're going to Vegas. Like, it was just so panicked. I hadn't studied. It was insane.
I told her to, like, you're totally gonna pass it. Like, this is the sort of chaos that, like, keeps you from overthinking things that'll, like, make sure that you pass it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, pretty freaking cool. Right now, the Raging Pin is in first place for our final race of the evening. And we'll see if it's able to hold out for one more scroll by. And I'm going to go ahead and get the betting up right now so I don't forget. Bloop, deloop, gloop, ploop. Start. Who will last longer / rank better, me or Robin? Start prediction. Okay, go ahead and start your voting. You have 2 minutes to get your voting in. You can use the channel points as your wager.
Lizardtree says, does anyone on here play Fall Guys?
I have. I get very mad at it.
Yeah, we definitely own Fall Guys. But I've never gotten a crown, ever.
I've gotten it one time.
You've gotten a crown?
Yeah, one time.
I'm jealous. I don't even have one.
All right,
Like,
I am voting on myself with all 108 points I have.
A lot of the maps end in the one that's like the hexes that you have to stay on.
Yeah.
And I cannot do those, man.
That one is
so
difficult.
fast.
All right, Raging Pin, it has 5 votes. It's definitely the one we're going to go with. 2 minutes and 50 seconds on average to complete it. Minute and 17 is the world record. Locally, we have not raced it. Let's get in there and get this thing a-going.
Lizardtree says, Enzo got a crown on his first game last night. Nice.
Nice.
Glitch says, crap, I still need to send your books, Robin. The night shift is killing me. Don't worry about it. I'm not stressing about it.
Exclamation point play to get your marble on stream and to get a chance to win the new stickers.
Oh, Enzo says it was their first game of Fall Guys ever, and they won.
I won't even call it beginner's luck. There's no such thing in Fall Guys. That's just skill. Because Fall Guys is a game of sabotage and assholes. I'm so close to first place so frequently, and then someone who's behind me somehow like catches up to me, and rather than trying to challenge to see who's going to win, they just fucking grab me. And they let someone else go by, and it gets so angry.
The people that wait at the end
Just
of the
to
map,
fuck with
just
you?
to fuck with
They're
you.
the worst.
Oh my god.
All right, we only have 11 marbles, so 2 less than we had last time. We'll see whether or not we were up to the 13 that we had for the first race, or if it's going to be this number, which is sad and pathetic.
Sabotage.
But pretty good odds for anyone who joins in. I'm also going to have to
Exclamation point play. Oh, wow, we're at $69.
Also going to have to update the Bagel Bites Museum because we have received multiple donations that will take it away or past the $69 mark. So 12 marbles now, which is always good. We have 50 seconds left before the race begins. Amy4244 has joined to make the 13 number, to make it number 13 for the second race in a row. We can still get more, and we'll see if that happens in the last 30 seconds or so.
Exclamation point play. Join us. Free opportunity to win some free sticker from our Etsy shop that has our scariest stuff. Has cute stuff on there too. You know me. I'm kawaii. Ha ha ha.
She is the one named Sailor Jupiter. See, it doesn't work. I like that some folks are like, I don't know if I joined yet, and they're like typing an exclamation point play like the Snark did. Captain Fake Eye just joined in, which is nice to see. We got up to 14 for our last race, which is
the one
dope as fuck.
You could do Chibi Moon. The one named Chibi Moon. That one
She
works.
is the one named Chibi Moon. Fighting evil by Chibi Light. Alright, we are off.
She's still Chibi Moon, so it's still
Nah.
Moonlight.
It's Chibi Light. Alright, this is the one. Oh, this is the one that has the giant pulsating rod at the end that just keeps shooting you into the air. Lizardtree jumped out into an early lead but got knocked backwards. Pink Penguin also was moving pretty good. 911 Girl's like, it's my birthday, get the fuck out of my way.
Oh no!
Glitch
No,
Glitch has taken over first place. And I thought they were about to fall to their doom, but it turns out that was just like a clear part. Oh, you're really caught up in this thing. Moving forward, though,
so dizzy. Oh, no,
Glitch made it through.
bye.
Pink Penguin fell off in an attempt to overtake first place. R.I.P. Robin is right behind Glitch. Says, this is my show. GTFO.
I win a lot. I don't know how, but I do.
Bunny Cakes is in second place. Glitch is now in third. Faye is pushing for fourth. All right, we'll fast forward to Robin. See if she's able to
this
get to
is
the
one
end.
that has like a hammer or something at the end?
Yeah, it's got that weird thing that makes it very difficult to
finish.
Yep. Also, Bunny Cakes has now overtaken Robin and is trying to go for the rare twofer. Robin says, nope, this is my show, and gets back into first place. Bunny Cakes, Captain Fig Eye, and Glitch Grammar back there. I think during the break it was during the break we hung out with Captain Fig Eye.
Mm-hmm. That was great.
We hung out with Mr. Dr. Captain Fig Eye. We hung out with Sister Dr. Captain Fig Eye, which
Yep.
was super fun. So, thank you so much for inviting us.
Tell her that, Sister Dr. Captain Fig.
I asked how Mr. Dr. Captain Fig Eye and Sister Dr. Captain Fig Eye were doing. Wow, Robin made that look really easy. I think Amy might have just fallen off the level. R.I.P. Amy. Robin is almost certainly going to take home the victory unless something crazy happens, and it will not.
Thank you.
911 girl just fell off the map, which is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and check and see who's in first place when it comes to winning the prize. Since Robin won't collect one and second place will. Looks like Laura Ann got launched out. Oh, nope, landed right back in it. That sucks. Nope, no, she didn't. Laura Ann slowly making her way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and she's homebound. And congratulations, Laura Ann, on your victory. Bunny Cakes was right there. I think Bunny Cakes took second place. Wow, Bunny Cakes totally stole that. Dude, called it too early. That's on me. Congratulations, Bunny Cakes, for taking second place and collecting a second prize. Laura Ann takes third. Captain Fig Eye takes fourth. Glitch is fifth. The Snarked is sixth. I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
I died, but I bet on Robin. Whoop, whoop. 7 points.
Me and Sherry Sue are just hanging out next to this thing like, will you please send us to the end before the fire wave of death sends us to hell? I think Sherry Sue might... Nope, she got missed too.
Dang, dude. How do you even get in?
This always happens to me on this map. I really hate this map. You have to be in the middle. Oh, there we go. We both got knocked up. And not off, so... Wow, that's funny. Didn't even think about that. And here comes the fiery wave of death. To eliminate both of our marbles, I think I'm going to make it as 7th. Sherry Sue is just sort of adding to the drama, but they're going to make it safely as 8th. And the winner, Robin Grace.
I appreciate it.
Whoever voted on Robin also
look
gets
at all them
paid
points.
out.
Oh, shit. Bunny Cakes has a lot of points.
Choose prediction outcome. Robin, congratulations to y'all. Complete the prediction. Do not show this again. Thank you.
So who got?
Bunny Cake says, woo, 2 stickers. JK, give it to Laura Ann, please. That was a crazy steal, though. Indeed it was. And thank you for being so generous to pass it to Laura Ann. Laura Ann says, LOL, thank you. All right, congratulations. Y'all don't forget to message us and let us know which sticker you would like and where to send it. So... that's pretty fun.
5.8K versus 9.4K.
Don't know what numbers you're reading.
The
payouts.
Yeah.
Got it. Robin goes up to 28 points in the season. Bunny Cakes is now at 47. Laura Ann's at 14. Apparently, only the top 3 pay you out anymore. Enzo Matrix finishes the night at 19. Lizard Tree is at 13. So, pretty good stuff. I'm going to move back over to the live cam, and I'm going to take down marbles on stream. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. It's always fun to play, give some stuff away. And end the show on that, since sometimes we do end on a boring, or I shouldn't say boring, we end on a bitter note. I don't know, it might be boring. A lot of you guys fall asleep. But either way, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to do the official outro. From now on, redemptions will not be read, so I will refund you your points if you attempt to do that. Marking it and a boop. All right, so like I said, that's a wrap for Pastatime. From here on out, we will have announcements in the future about what's going to be taking its place on the Wednesday live shows at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on youtube.com/Scaryish and twitch.tv/Scaryish Podcast. We are probably going to be doing something a little bit different, still scary, spooky, horror themed. I'm pretty excited about it, and we'll see what comes of it. But next week we'll be doing story time, so please join us for that. If you have a story you would like to send us, which we call homegrown horrors, which are, stories that are real, that either happen to you, a friend, a family member, whatever, supernatural, spiritual, coincidental,
send us those stories.
True crime, extraterrestrial, send an email to storytime@scaryish.com or go to scaryish.com, the website, click on contact us, fill out that form, and send it to us that way, or hit us up on social medias. Twitter is at Scaryish Pod. Instagram is at Scaryish Podcast. And Facebook is facebook.com/Scaryish Podcast. We would love to hear from you. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us, how can they do so?
You can also go to patreon.com/Scaryish Podcast. Those are monthly donations. Tiers start at $1, so that's Q. Badge of Honor patrons and above, that's $10 and above. I'll be mailing out some lanyards, and I think is it a magnet or a sticker? I forget. But something like that will be sent out very, very soon for the summer season. I already have stuff planned for future seasons this year, so hopefully you guys like it. It'll be great. But yeah. Oh, and if you're not into the monthly donation type thing, you can also go to ko-fi.com/Scaryish Podcast, and that's totally okay to donate at also.
Indeed. So thank you so much to everyone who supports us in all the different ways. We're happy to be back, and we're happy you folks joined us for it. So that is everything we have for this final episode of Pastatime. So Robin, why don't you go ahead and sign us out?
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.